All right, so good evening, everybody. This is Craig Blanchett, and this is our weekly coaches team huddle up. We do this every Tuesday from 8 to 8:30. One of the things that we're going to do tonight is we're going to keep the the meeting open till quarter till. So we'll end the recording and stuff at 8:30, but you guys are welcome to hang out if you have additional questions, just want to hang out and chat. So we'll hang out a little bit after at the end. And then let's see here. You can find this recording by going to vimeo.com/healthcoachhuddle. So it's vimeo.com healthcoachhuddle. And I'll put that in the chat message. If you ever want to watch recordings of these later, that's where the recordings are stored. And then lastly is that each week we have 3 different segments. The first segment is where we introduce people, new guests. And then we go into a client story showcase. And then we do a training session at the middle. And then at the end is our action items for the week. What do we want to do and take forward into our week to move our health coach practices forward so we can help more and more people as we learn more and more stuff. And so if you have a notepad, if you have Ninja Turtles, that's recommended, but otherwise not, that's fine. And when I go through and take notes, things that I want an answer to and I don't understand, I put a question mark next to it. And then things that are to-do items, I put a little checkbox next to it. And things that are just a highlight that I want to remember, I'll put an asterisk next to it. And the very last thing is anytime I hear somebody mention a book that I want to read, I put a B with a square around it. And that just allows me to sort of, you can figure out your own system, whatever it is, but find a system for when you're taking notes so that you can look back on those and glean the information out of them easily. And so I'm going to now introduce a buddy of mine. You guys, I probably told you guys about Josh, working with him out at the International Raceway where he works with troubled youth. And he came out with some guys, and then I came to one of his programs that he runs for some kids in the city here, and does a boxing program and stuff. Anyway, so Josh, I met him. We just connected again today, and so I don't know, Josh, you want to give us maybe just a 1 minute, sort of just hello to the gang? I'll unmute you there.
Yeah, hi. Just want to say hey. On the call, just kind of learning a little bit more about what you guys are all up to. Craig shared with me the concept of coaching. I have done a lot of coaching in the past, whether it's been in the corporate arena or with the youth that I work with. So I'm also very interested in health and fitness. That's one of the big important pieces of my life, and would love to be able to share that with other people. So I'm just here to kind of learn and listen and meet you guys and just take it to the next step, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
So
all right, cool, Josh. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate seeing you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, you betcha. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, and she's going to move into our next segment. So Carrie Armstrong, welcome to the huddle.
Thanks. Yeah, I like this part. I think it's one of my favorites, and it's just celebrating our clients and interactions that we've had this week, whether it's a victory or a struggle, which I guess tends to end in victory. But do you guys have anything that's happened in the last week or so that you'd like to share that we can celebrate or even learn from as a team? Randy looked at Cheryl.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, we did have a client who we signed up here about 3 weeks ago. Got her first order and discovered that she just didn't feel like that was the thing for her to do. According to her, she had some soy issues, And so we had someone cancel on us, and not that that's disappointing. It's just disappointing in the fact that I don't know that she really gave it a try. She kind of went into it, but was very enthused and had been referred to us. But anyway, it's one of those experiences you kind of go, okay, what could we have done better? Could we have coached her up more? Maybe answered her questions better? Although she, we spent time with her and at her home. But it's just one of those things that, it's kind of disappointing when you see someone who comes enthused about the program initially, and then once they get their order, kind of walks away without really giving a true test, I guess.
I was a little concerned because she indicated, she likes to make her own soups and, this, that, and the other. But she was super enthused. So it's just one of those things.
So anyway, it was one of those. We haven't had very many of those happen to us. We've had one other person who decided to quit the program, but again, same kind of thing. Really wasn't fully committed. And
one out of the 20 or whatever many people that are loving it, Randy and Cheryl, both of those things is people are ready when they're ready. And
right.
In the end, our job is to help people know where they're at, help
right.
them discover where they want to be, and then partner with them,
right.
and that can look a lot of different ways. So keep partnering with those people.
Yeah. I'm going to second that, you guys. Like that, we've all, at least I have had clients like that where they practically throw their information at you, and then as soon as it arrives, you can't get a hold of them. And it's what happened. And Terry Miller always says this, and this is the learning curve of the business, right? Our personal growth will always parallel our business growth. And she says you could say all the right things to the wrong person, and you could say all the wrong things to the right person. So
very true.
Yeah, I have no doubt you guys, from your track record, just from hearing your guys' successes, it's not you. So yeah, but I get it. Yeah.
So I just wanted to thank you guys. Christina just joined us. She's so committed to coaching that she's joined the huddle from her concert. How crazy is that?
I am not, let me just be straight. I am not committed to coaching at this very moment because I am front row center at my first out of 3 Hanson concerts that I waited 38 hours to have. BTW, this is killing me that I have to wait more. Oh! Check it out, you guys. Check it out. Check this out.
Yeah, so,
oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, this is what coaching pays for.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina.
I am so in my element right this second.
Hey, Christina, while we have you here, you had a celebration this weekend where you were trying to take a shot with the pumpkins, and you told me you had a problem with the pumpkins. You want to share that with us?
I had a problem with the pumpkins.
Remember at the sugar shack?
There wasn't enough pumpkins.
Yep.
There wasn't enough. I lost almost 12 pumpkins based on their average weight of a pumpkin. And I lost almost 12, and they only had 6.
That's awesome.
How dare you cheat me? This is not a 2-for-1 deal, man. This is I want 1-for-1. Give it to me.
So Christina's lost more than 100 pounds, and they didn't have enough for the shot. So I thought that was a celebration. I had a celebration this week as well. I had a guy that I talked to back in February, and some of you heard this. I was at a rental car, renting a car for a men's weekend, and a guy came in and rented a car, and we just started talking. We found each other on Facebook, and that was February, guys. And he was at my house yesterday and just signed up as a client and is going to be a coach. And he's like, it's time. Let's do it. and I just contended for him. Alex says, we hold the space until they're ready. And so I was just waiting for him to work out whatever he needed to work out, because there was something in him that wanted to coach, but he just had to work out some stuff first. And he's ready. And he came over and just said, let's do this. So I'm super excited about Irving. You guys will be, you saw me introduce him on our Facebook groups, but you'll meet him in person soon. So.
I had a really fun call this week. I didn't get to talk to my client, but I talked to her husband. She was out of town and found out that she had been to a doctor's appointment, and her doctor took her off all of her cholesterol and her high blood pressure meds. And so that was really exciting. And he's gotten really inspired to work on his health as well, as along with her. And so he's lost some weight. And then he decided that his tech job required too much sitting, so he built for himself a stand-up desk with an attached treadmill. And so that was a pretty fun conversation.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Is there time for one more, Carrie?
Let's do it.
One more. I have a client who, him and his wife went on program, and she only had 8 pounds to lose. And she was mostly supporting him, but he had over 60 pounds to lose. And I talk more with the wife, which is not uncommon. And she kind of updates me, but he refuses to send me an after picture until he's fully at his weight. But I saw one of him at a theme park, and his goal has been to be able to go to this Universal Studios with his kids and ride on all the rides. And he didn't even look like the same person that I had met about 5 months ago. So it's funny how some people are. I'd be putting that all over the place, but he's a little more discreet. But it was so cool to see him stick with it, and his wife be that support system for him. So that was heartwarming for me. I had nothing to do with his success. He stuck to it, but plan works if you stick to it.
Yes.
Well, and awesome. I did that last one here. We did a Facebook Live. One of you may have met Cassina last week, and she's so excited. In 10 weeks with fibromyalgia, PCOS, chronic fatigue syndrome, and something else. I don't know. I think she has a bionic brain or something. I don't know, but a lot of different things. She's lost 29 pounds in 10 weeks. And if you know about PCOS, they usually celebrate a quarter pound a week. That's like standard. And so she's now a coach. She's like, when I first talked to her, she was just getting into it. She was a little bit kind of slow and achy because of fibromyalgia. And she was bouncing off the wall, and she's sick right now. And she was outside like, let's do this. And we've gotten 300 and something views on the Facebook Live already.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we just, within 3 minutes of us doing it, we had 131 views.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so it's going crazy, and she's got a great story. So if you check my Facebook thread, you'll see that. But she's a coach on Linda's team, and just gangbusters, wants to help people, and it's going crazy. I'm super excited for her.
Awesome.
It's great.
There you go. So should we pass it on to, is that you, Craig? Are you doing the next?
Yeah, just talking about a little bit about health assessment. So we went through the health assessment last week, and different ways of going through the health assessment. And then, so I'm curious if anybody has used the new form and is going through it. How is the rhythm feeling? Are you practicing that? Even if you don't have a potential client to practice it on, you can practice it with your spouse, with your neighbor, with your dog. Probably not your dog, but you can practice it with anybody. But if you don't practice it, then it's like getting into the basketball game and they throw the ball to you and you don't know what to do with it because you never went to practice. So curious, what do you guys, how's the rhythm of it going? What are you liking about it?
I know for me, when I first started, I was trying to go through the whole thing, and it took a lot of time, and it felt overwhelming and more like I was just drilling with questions, even though it was good information. and people were willing to share. I liked kind of stepping back a little bit and kind of like we did on the training last week, just focus on the explore part of it. And I mean, filling in the blanks as they mention things that are important to their goals and where they're at. But I think that helped relieve pressure as far as feeling like I needed to cover everything, and it takes less time. So you can cut to the chase if people are ready to get going. And I just like to have that other outline for things to keep in mind as we keep talking week after week. So yeah, I've used it different.
We went to a training this weekend, Miller training, and there's section 1, which is awaken, section 2, which is the daily routine and habits, and then section 3 was health considerations. And basically their recommendation was you go through 1. If they're pretty ready to go, jump to 3. As soon as they say yes, you turn the page over, basically. And the stuff on the back is what you're going to need to make sure that you have just their details if they have allergies and things like that. And then page 2 is where you actually do their beginning coaching. So it's got journey kickoff, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 on the back. And so I thought that was just really helpful that you don't have to do 1, 2, and 3. You can do 1 and 3, or you can go and you can fill in 2 later. So that was really helpful, just to kind of make it work for you. And then the other thing they really talked about is if they say not yet, there's a if not ready yet, use this to track the follow-up. So just put a date every time you follow up and reconnect with them. And it's just, the more I see it, the more brilliance I find in it. So awesome stuff, guys. All right, Carrie, so thank you for that. We're going to jump into the training segment, and we're going to do a little breakout rooms tonight as well. And the breakout rooms are basically when someone says yes. So you found a need, you've exposed a need, you figured out that you can help them. They said yes, they want help. And then we enroll them in our program. We get their kit and everything going. There's a couple different ways that we would connect them with into our coaching community so they can see that they have support beyond just you. And one of those first ways was to have a 3-way phone call. We found that was a little cumbersome, and it was challenging to get 3 people's schedules synced up to have even a 5-minute call. So what we've done after talking with Terry and David, they recommended that you do a 3-way Facebook Messenger, because you can set up the messenger and then people can reply when they get a chance. They don't have to be on the phone live. And so I've got a outline here for the new client Facebook support message. I'm going to put this in the chat window. And so you guys can send this to everybody. And what you can do is you can save this Google Doc on your favorites or your bookmarks. And I'm going to bring it up so you can all see it right now and just kind of show you kind of the rhythm and flow of it. And then we'll just do a quick little practice and see if we can, if you've never set up a 3-way Facebook Messenger thread, then we can make sure everybody has a chance to set one up. It won't take too long. But the intent of this is, now here's a crazy contrast. I actually want to go off camera for a second. This is, sometimes we don't notice what we don't notice. Usually with other programs, other weight loss only programs, and ours is so different than that, but sometimes there's some similarities that people compare it to. And I've had this happen to me where somebody wanted to tell me about their product. It was a company called Thrive or something like that. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to learn about it. And I got on, and within 2 minutes, the person on the call said, let me bring my coach on. And the coach jumped on, and then it was a surprise 3-way call, and it was weird. And I was like, we got off the call, and I went, she goes, what'd you think? I go, can I give you some feedback? That was weird. And so think about what we're talking about. We're talking about after they've said yes. We found out what they want. We found out where they're going. they're enrolled in the program, then we bring on the three-way community. So we're not trying to close people. We're not trying to trick people. We're not trying to do any of that stuff, right? We're bringing them into the support community that we know is essential if they're going to have lasting transformation and not temporary weight loss or temporary fitness or temporary whatever, health gain, right? So I just love what we do. I love the system and I love the way we do it. So this particular little Facebook message script is basically, at the time of transaction, once they've given you the credit card, you congratulate them, you set the expectation, you tell them about the referrals, stuff like that. And then if they're not on Facebook Messenger, then you can just do a three-way text. But if they are, then you set up a three-way message. And so this is done with the coach, the sponsoring coach. So if I was going to work with Josh, for example, I would set up this message. I would add Josh, add my mentor coach, which is Troy or Terry or somebody. And then I would introduce Josh to Terry. And then Terry would say, hey, it's great to be part of your team. Tell me a little bit about what you're trying to do. So then my coach interacts with the new client so they feel like there's more skin in the game. They got more people involved. I did this with Irving last night with Troy, and Troy put this in there, and he waited for the reply. Irving didn't reply until this morning about 10 o'clock. So it went, all night because he was sleeping probably. And then Troy said, sounds like you're clear on your health goals. Craig's will be right here alongside you about a week after you're in your program. Let's connect again on Facebook voice or video, and then we can actually see each other and talk. And then, then I would say, Josh, how does that sound? Wait for the reply. And then, the sponsor coach puts in the new client. This is the new client email that has all of the getting started stuff. Make sense? Any questions about that?
Yeah. Are you recommending doing the Facebook video over Zoom?
Well,
or is it more whatever?
Great question. So this is just a Facebook message. A week from now, let's say people were starting their program and today was day one. Well, in a week, you're gonna actually have a second meeting, an actual meeting. Now, Zoom sometimes is a little bit, they haven't seen Zoom yet. We all use it and it's easy. And so I did this with Linda just today. We've got a three-way message with Casina, right? And I was like, well, I wanted to talk to both of them. So in the three-way message, I just clicked video. And this was Linda's first video chat. And she's like, I've never done this. This was so easy. And that was the point. If they're a new client, they may not have Zoom. They may not have any of that, but they have Facebook Messenger. So it's pretty easy to do a three-way message.
Yeah.
But, and so I'm going to just demo just one thing here really quickly for you guys. Let's see here, new message. So I go to messenger.com, right? Messenger.com is all of the Facebook messaging without all of the Facebook. Make sense? So you got Facebook here, and you've got all that stuff going on with Facebook and the distractions and all that kind of stuff. 355 views now, Linda, look at that. Anyway, and so you can go to messenger.com and just get this. So this is a little bit of a piece. So you go up to the top, there's a square with the little pencil inside of it. And I have to click new message. And I'm just going to do one right now with Carrie Armstrong. And I'm going to do it with Carrie and who else? We're going to do it with Linda Benson. But right now, the message hasn't been created until I actually type something in the message. So I can do just 3 dots. Now the message has been created, and you see up in the top right, now I have a telephone, a video camera, and so if I wanted to do a group call, I would just click the video camera, and then this window pops up, and I can click call, and all of a sudden I'm calling them. and it's very similar on the mobile device too. But we're not going to do a call this time. All we're going to do is actually just set up a 3-way message and say, introduce the new client to the mentor coach. And that's how we go through it that way. Make sense? No?
Yeah.
It makes sense. So who here has never set up a 3-way Facebook Messenger personally, created a 3-way thread?
Did you say never, Craig, or has?
Never done it.
Okay.
Everybody's done it. All you champions. Okay. Well then, I mean, maybe you've never done, so you could do this on your phone too, or your computer, either one. But, well, if you've all done it, and maybe we don't really need to go through it, actually.
I do have a question.
Yes, Linda Benson.
Thank you so much, Craig Blanchett. Do you have to have more than one person in a group message for both parties to be on a video call? I've done video calls with one person, but I didn't know you could have like multiple people on one instant message call. So could I add someone to a group call, or do you and Cassina or you and Carrie and Dawn all have to be in one group message when I call? It calls all of you.
I think you have to start the 3-way so it kind of cooks the group together, and then you click video, and then it gives you a choice. Let's say you have 10 people in a group message and you only want to talk to 4 of them. You can actually unselect the rest of them, so you can choose. But it has to be the big group to start with.
Okay.
So you have to start the 3-way thread or 5-way thread. I think Facebook, I don't know what the limit is. I think it's 10 or 15.
Wow.
It works pretty good. And it's just simple for client support. If you're going to be a coach, we're going to use Zoom because you can do a lot more. You can't share your screen. You can't remote control. You can't do a lot of things, but it's pretty nice. So,
would you recommend using that now on for health assessments?
Whatever's easiest.
Okay.
You know, sometimes people they can't get their audio to go, and they can't get whatever to go. And so if they're having problems and they're pretty familiar with Facebook, just use it. It's getting better and better. It was real beta, real glitchy. It's getting better and better though. Like I can show you, well, I mean, maybe, I don't know, we're at 8:30, so we're about towards the end here, but here's what I would say for the homework for this week is, go start 5 clients, and then sort of like, yeah, let's all do that, right? But, with your next client that you start, make sure that you create the 3-way thread between your new client and your mentor coach within 24 hours, and make sure that they get connected to our support community. And then at 1 week into the program, they're going to, 1 week after they've begun the 5-in-1, then you're going to do a face or phone chat with your mentor. And when you've already had the message set up and you've already been chatting in there, it's really easy just to click, and then there you are. So it's pretty simple. But that's the message. If you fail to integrate people into the system, then let's say one day they become coaches. Now you've got to untrain that there's a gap in the system. So you got to untrain it and then retrain it. So if you just start with doing it the most successful ways, the tried and true ways, then you don't retrain anything. They just know it. They don't know anything else to do. So one of the things that Dawn has a pretty big team now. What's up, Dawn? Dawn and Kelly Carpenter. And so we've been going in and running reports on new clients that start every week. And then you can go in and you can look at all the new clients that started that week, who started on my team with one of the coaches, and then did they create 3-way Facebook Messenger threads with them? And then if somebody's more than a week into it, have they had a 1 week celebration call? because these are the things that make health sticky. And we want to set people up for lifetime transformation and not temporary weight loss or temporary health change. It's a little bit more work, but doing things the right way that last is a little more work. So, and it's only a little bit more work really when you're learning it. Then it's just what you do, right? So anyhow, so your homework for the week is to go do a 3-way Facebook video with anybody. Maybe I'll narrow that down. 2 other people you know. Maybe you could start there, right? But I'd love for everybody to test out the video. If you haven't created, which everybody has, created a 3-way Facebook Messenger, go create one and work the bugs out before it's game time and you have to like dribble. You have to really know how to play the game. So does that sound good? Is that clear enough? And what I'd love to see is when you do your first one, just for accountability, post in the coach page, I did my first 3-way and who you did it with. So it's a little bit of extra, but then I see you do it and I'm like, I'm a slacker, I haven't done it yet. So then it prompts me to go do it. And then it's a snowball of awesome, right? Cheryl and Randy, you look like a big snowball of awesome, right? You guys keep going, yeah. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording then. We'll go for another 10 minutes or so. And just if you guys have questions or just whatever comments, I want to thank Josh for joining us today. You're welcome back. We will see you again. And we'll see you guys next week.